to the audience. Today we will discuss our topic, which is cultures in Sarawak. Okay, before we start our forum, it would be nice for us to introduce our handsome and beautiful panel members. Before that, my name is Nurikaina Binti Zainal and I come from city of Samarahan, Sarawak. Our intelligent and stylish panel member, which is Haikal Razik bin Sharusim, who come from Serian, Sarawak. And this is the shy and beautiful panel members. Her name is Nur Zulaika Farzana, also from Oya, Sarawak. Okay, because the three of us come from Sarawak, but we are from different races, and it would be good for us to introduce our cultures and races in Sarawak. Okay, before that, I will explain to guys about the fact about Sarawak, which is the population in Sarawak is very diverse, which comprising many races and ethnic groups. As you guys know, Sarawak has more 14 ethnic subgroup which has distinct language, cultures and lifestyle, and this makes Sarawak demography very special and unique compared to the peninsula counterpart. Okay, before that, I would like to ask Haikal about your cultures, your own cultures. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, thank you to our moderator, Khairina. Before I start, it will be nice to me to introduce myself a little bit deeper. My name is Haikal Razik bin Sharusim. I come from Serian, Sarawak, and I'm actually a mixed blood of Chinese and Malay, as my father is a Chinese while my mother is a Malay. So I have a little knowledge about Chinese culture. Generally, the second largest ethnicity in Malaysia, in Sarawak, is Chinese. Today, they make up over 17% of the total population of Sarawak. This is as reported by the Department of Statistics Malaysia back in 2021. A little history about Chinese. The Chinese first arrived in Sarawak back in the 19th centuries and early 20th centuries, as they were the economic migrants that slowly built in Sarawak communities. The Sarawak Chinese belong to a wide range of dialect, the most common ones being Hokkien, Hakka, Cantonese, Fujian, Fuzhou, Teochew, and some more. The Hokkien and Teochew are the dominant dialect used in major towns such as Kuching, the capital city of Sarawak. Towns like Sibu, which mainly populated by the Fuzhou, use Fuzhou dialect as their daily language, as they were known to be the little Fuzhou of Malaysia.
Okay, Haikal, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
In your own state, which is Syrian, what is the majority ethnic and the language that people Chinese mother tongue?
Oh,
okay.
That's a very good question. Whereas the Hakka is spoken predominantly by the farmer in the interior area, like Syrian. In my place, most of the Chinese speaks in Hakka dialect.
Oh, Hakka dialect. So, can you give some example how Hakka and give a bit different Hakka and Hokkien or Fuzhou in one word? Okay, Haikal, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
So for the Chinese language, as you said that they have a bit difference with Cebu, Syrian, and so on. As for your own state, which is Syrian, what is the difference of the language that you guys talk as a mother tongue?
Thank you for the question, Karina. In my opinion, the main difference of the dialects are the origin of the people itself. For instance, the Fuzhou people actually came from Fujian, while the Guangdong people actually are the origin of the Cantonese dialect. Whilst in my area, which is the Hakka dialect, the people came from North China, which they migrate to South China during the fall of Han Dynasty or Song Dynasty back in the 12th centuries.
Oh, okay. So, is you know right the different about the language and the mother tongue of different cultures in Chinese. Okay.
Though they have a wide range of dialect, Malaysian Mandarin, or we call it Chungbuan, becomes the unifying language spoken by all the Chinese in Malaysia.
Oh, so you, as you say this, so in one Mandarin, they can talk with all people. Like if you go to Peninsula, you meet the Chinese and you talk Mandarin only,
Yes.
not a dialect of Hokkien, and Fujian. Just listen.
Yes.
Okay.
This is because when we go to Peninsula, we don't know the origin of the people, whether they are Chinese or whether they are Hokkien Chinese or they are Hakka Chinese or even Teochew Chinese.
Oh.
That's why we use the Mandarin, as Mandarin is now the lingua franca among the Chinese ethnicity, especially the younger generation, as their mother tend to forget to teach them how to use their own mother tongue.
Okay. It looks interesting to know about the language of Chinese and how different of their language, and they can unify their nation by one Mandarin language. So, can we proceed to the our
Yes, sure.
beautiful member, which is Zuleika, to explain about your background, which is Melana, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us about the background?
Yes, sure. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And thank you to moderator Kairina. So, firstly, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nur Zuleika Farzana binti Fatihi, and I am a Melana people. So, today, I would like to share some information about my nation, which is Melanau. Melanau are among the earliest settlers of Sarawak. Actually, before, Melanau people called themselves as Aliko, which means people of the river. And legend said that the name of Melanau was given by the Malays of Brunei to the inhabitants of coastal swamp flat and river banks in central of Sarawak. Okay, next, the best about Melanau is they consider education as a priority, and the majority of Melanau had been thrived in politics, business, and public life. And besides, Melanau also considered as a very open, friendly, and easygoing person and non-aggressive person because they really value their relationship with their family members and friends.
Oh, so as you say this, the Malnok people really friendly with
Yes.
people, and they is not aggressive. So when they angry, they are not throwing tantrum or anything.
No, it depends on situation.
Oh, okay. Continue.
So now let's talk about our traditional food, which is umai. For your information, umai is made by the raw fish, and the fish must be fresh and still half alive, as the flesh will be tender and sweet and tasty. So do you guys know how to make the umai?
Oh, can you?
Okay, I will guide you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, firstly, the fish must be cut precisely to get rid of its bone and the skin. Okay, next is linut. Linut also being famous as a staple food for Melanau. It is made from the sagu palm trees. And if you guys wonder how to make it, firstly, mix the sagu flour with hot water and continuously mix it until the final result will form in a solid and sticky glue. So for your information, linut is tasteless. So normally it will be served together with sambal or belacan, and even best eaten with chili prawn paste while it is still hot.
Oh, okay. So is there any food that has famous in Melanau?
Yes,
Like
sure.
everyone can eat it. Like for myself, I don't eat linut, but I want to taste some of Melanau food. So which type of food that you recommend for me to taste the Melanau food?
Okay, I think you should try sagu. Sagu is a little tiny sagu which is being made manually by hand. They are best being eaten with dry fish, curry, or even umai. So the taste of sagu is salty and creamy. And the best about sagu is it can replace rice as a staple food because it has a very high level of carbohydrate and good for diabetes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So,
For your information, only certain people know how to make the sagu because the process is really complicated. So I suggest you to buy the sagu at the market, Mukah market.
okay.
See, thank you.
Thank you. Wow, it sounds interesting, Zuleika, to hear your traditional Melanau food. And let's move on to Haikal to share with us about his traditional food. Okay, can you share with us?
Sure, that's my pleasure. Actually, there is a saying which is fashion is in Europe, living is in America, while eating is in China. So, do you know what does this phrase mean?
No?
The phrase is the evidence to the popularity of Chinese food around the world. Because food is an important part of every Chinese person around the world. Therefore, there is no exception for the Chinese people in Sarawak as they very value their food. Basically, the rice and the noodle are the main part of every Chinese dishes, just like the Western dishes. They mainly made from pasta and potato.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, shall we start with our signature foods?
Yes, pleasure.
Let's not forget about our chow mein, which is directly translated to English, which is stir-fried noodles.
Oh, do.
The secret behind the tasty chow mein is the special sauce itself. Because every seller or every cooker has their own recipe to make the sauce. Besides, chow mein is usually served with vegetable because the Chinese really emphasize the healthiness that can be brought with vegetables. Next up, we have pan mi. Do you know what is pan mi?
No?
Have you ever heard of it?
Yes, but never taste it.
Okay, I will put in a simpler way. Pan mi is actually a handmade noodle that's served in soup. Pan mi is made by a dough that gives a special texture and taste because the dough is actually the main ingredient to make a good pan mi.
Oh, okay.
Personally, I never taste pan mi because I'm a Chinese Muslim. So there is not much halal pan mi served in my area, but I always see my friend eat pan mi.
I have a question. That you said that pan mi is non-halal. What is ingredient that make it was non-halal?
Actually, pan mi, the ingredient that made the pan mi non-halal, which we all know, is pork.
Oh, but we can eat without pork, right?
But there is not many Muslim seller that can make pan mi as tasty as the Chinese make it. So it's actually very hard for me to find a pan mi to taste. I hope there is a pan mi in Sabah which I can personally enjoy it.
Okay. We hope also. So you guys Chinese, what is the breakfast that you guys mainly eat in morning?
Oh, that's a very good question. In Sarawak, we always eat dim sum as our breakfast.
Oh, okay. For myself, I ate roti canai and nasi lemak as for my breakfast. So you? Same. Okay, so Chinese is a bit different.
Actually, dim sum or tianxing in Chinese are associated with Cantonese cuisine because the word dim sum itself means touching heart.
Oh, wow, so lovely.
The term actually used to design small food served with tea because the Chinese love simple food but tasty.
Okay, I know, understand. So, as for myself, I always walking around with my friends and saw some of dim sum place, which is mostly in Sarawak. They selling dim sum that was non halal. So, it was a bit hard for me to make it and also to find it.
Actually, there is a way for you to eat halal dim sum if you don't know how to make it, which is frozen dim sum, which we can normally find in supermarket such as H&L or even Everrise.
Oh, okay. Later I try it on. Okay. Okay, both of them already share with us about their own cultures, and as you guys know that Melanau and Chinese culture has their own very traditional food which can attract with many others people to taste it. We take a short break, so stay with us. Stay tuned.
Don't go away. Okay.
Let's proceed to the next section, which is the festival. As you know, the cultures must need its own festival. So without festivals, the cultures does not live by itself. Every year in Sarawak, we celebrated about 20 and more festivals. As for myself, I celebrated Hari Raya Aidilfitri and Hari Raya Aidil Adha. The organization of the festival generally has interesting and different themes every year. The festival also closely related to traditions in community as a pride of the region. So, let's move on to the Ju to share with us about how Melanau people celebrate its festival.
Alright, thank you, Kai. So, Pesta Kaul is one of festival that Melanau people celebrate. It is a Thanksgiving festival to appease the spirits of land, sea, and forest, which is usually held around March and April. So it celebrates in the Melanau month of Penajim to thank the Ipoh for the beautiful year past, and a prayer for a good year ahead. So before Islam come and flourish among the Melanau people, their belief is animistic, and they believe that the world is protected and guided by the various spirits such as Ipoh Gun, Ipoh Dat, Ipoh Talun, and many more.
Oh,
Yes.
can you translate with us what is Ipoh? Okay.
Alright, Ipoh is the god of the sea according to the Melanau people. So,
Actually, I have a question.
yes,
Is there still any Melanau people that believe in Ipoh, which is the god of sea?
yes, sure, because even now there are still certain people that still believe the Ipoh because they know about the Islam. Yes.
Oh, okay. So in Melanau, what is the majority Melanau people believe in God? Such as we know in Kuching, there is Islam majority and Samarahan also Islam. So your opinion?
Okay, in my opinion, the majority of Melanau nowadays are Muslim, but it depends on
The area?
it depends on the area because as example, in my area, which is Oya, majority of us is Islam, but in Melanau Dalat, majority of them is Christian, and some of them don't have a certain religion.
Oh, so
Yes.
some of them that does not have certain religion is atheist, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Zulaika,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
As you have said about Kaul Festival, where do usually Kaul Festival will be held?
Okay, every year Kaul Festival will be held in Muka. Yes, in Muka because Muka is the main
Town?
town that the majority of the community is believe in the Ipoh.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I understand. I have another question.
Yes.
Do you personally have ever anticipate or join in any Kaul Festival celebration?
Usually, we are Muslims, so we don't involve in the
Spiritual.
spiritual thing because it's like forbidden in Islam. So usually when Kaul festival, we only come to Muka to like see the festival, to buy the food, thing so.
Oh.
I understand. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion, Zulaika. So, can we move to the Haikal to share with us about how Chinese people celebrate their own festival? Because as we know, every year Chinese people celebrate Chinese New Year that has been merrier in Sarawak. So in India town, there has a Chinese people that do the parade with a dragon costume. So it must be interesting for us to know a little bit or more deeper about Chinese traditional festival.
Actually, as we all know, the most iconic Chinese festival is...
Chinese New Year!
Yes, that's correct. Okay, the main purpose of us celebrating the Chinese New Year is to celebrate the beginning of the new year, which in Chinese we call it Chunjie. And if we translate it literally, it means spring festival.
Oh, okay.
I have a little sharing. Before the Chinese New Year day, we have the Chinese New Year Eve, where all the family members gather to eat the annual reunion dinner. All our uncle and aunties from all over Malaysia will come to our house to celebrate and to prepare for the Chinese New Year next day. Furthermore, we will decorate our house, especially the wall and the door, with red colored things, because red color means longevity and prosperity.
So because as you said that the red is symbolic for prosperity and longevity, so it applied to the costume of Chinese with Cheongsam. They wear red also.
Yes, the red color has the relation with the first day of Chinese New Year, which on the first day of Chinese New Year, we have many taboos. Do you know what is taboos? Which
No.
is things that are forbidden to do during the first day of Chinese New Year.
Oh.
First thing first, the first thing we have to avoid is wear black color clothes, because black really symbolize death, with that we usually wear black color when we go to funeral. So it is
Yeah.
absolutely disgrace if we wear black. That's why we wear red color during Chinese New Year.
Oh, okay. I see.
Actually, we have one more taboo during the first day of Chinese New Year. I don't know if you guys personally have seen or experienced where the Chinese usually during the first day of Chinese New Year, they don't usually sweep the floor.
Yeah. As for my experience, 1 week before Chinese New Year, I sweep the company of my boss, and she scolded me really angry because it was very disgrace for herself as a Chinese. So can you explain why we cannot sweep the floor?
Because the Chinese believe the floor that we swept during the first day, we sweep away all the good luck and all the prosperities that come, because Chinese New Year is the new beginning in the lunar calendar.
Oh, okay. I see. So it was not to attract the bad luck, right?
Yes.
Hi
Okay.
Kai,
Yes.
I heard that the Chinese people eat such a round type food during the festival. So may I know more about it?
Let me think. Oh, the Dongzi, or we call it Dongzijie, which means we will eat that round thing which we call tangyuan. The tangyuan is actually a balls of glutinous rice that symbolize happiness and reunion, because when we celebrate Dongzijie, just like Chinese New Year, all the family members will gather to eat the tangyuan.
Tangyuan. Oh, okay.
On top of that, tangyuan will be colored with green or pink and served in a sweet or savory soup, because we believe in that Dongzijie we must feel happy because we all reunion on that particular day.
Oh, okay. So dah. Okay. Okay, thank you for your opinion, Haikal. Such a wonderful event that was celebrated by Chinese heritage. So, but my friends always told me that every Chinese festival must have orange fruit, that's symbolic by dear luck. And I hope that this culture will continuously happen in our community. We will come back soon and talk more about dance and attire. See you soon. Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Bismillah.
Bismillah. When talking about festivals, the thing that related to it is dance.
Yes.
So, for every festival, there must be its own dance, like Chinese dance and Melanau dance.
Yes.
So, without dance, the festival would not be lively and interesting to celebrate. So, let's get to know the traditional dance of Melanau and Chinese, starting from Haikal to share it with us.
Thank you to our moderator Karina.
Yeah.
Actually, when we are talking about traditional dance of Chinese people, there are various type of traditional dance, but I will be talking about the most famous one, which is umbrella dance.
Okay.
Do you guys ever seen the performance of umbrella dance?
Only in YouTube.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen it once during my school year back in 2015, like that. Okay, so the main purpose of the umbrella dance is to entertain the youth, as the youth tend to have the very strong connection with love.
Ah.
So the purpose of umbrella dance to represent how a partner should behavior in carrying a romantic relationship. So there are many props that are being used during the umbrella dance performance, such as umbrella and scarves. First and foremost, the umbrella is used by a male to show how is the correct way to protect a female. Because when they are using the umbrella, they will spin, they will have a lot of movement that will be shown during the live performance, which related to how a male should protect a woman correctly. Besides, the scarf will be tied by a woman around the neck of the male to show the message of receiving love and the sign of loyalty between the dancer.
Oh, was so lovely. So, Haikal, the umbrella dance was a very lovely dance. So, if you guys want to find a true love, you guys can try umbrella dance, because as Haikal said that this dance is appear in between male and female.
Yes. So Haikal, beside umbrella dance, what is other dance that usually held during the Chinese New Year Day?
That's a very interesting question.
Yes.
But the main dance that will appear during Chinese New Year is the lion dance.
Oh, yang tungkukucang,
Yes,
tungkukucang.
that's right.
Okay.
The lion dance symbolizes power, wisdom, and also superiority of the Chinese people, because this dance usually performed during a big occasion to bring good fortune and also chase away the evil spirits. As the matter of fact that this dance will accompanied by the music of drum, gong, and also cymbals.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So Haikal, now I know why the lion dance use loud music or sound to chase away the evil spirit, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for Haikal for your sharing. So it will be nice for all three of us to watch the performance itself together, especially during its own festival, right? So let's move to Zulaika to share about how Melanau dance during its own festival.
Alright, thank you, Karina. Alu-alu dance is one of the earliest Melanau's traditional dance. It used the music of Rebana Alu-alu, which described the solemn mood on morning day. It displays skill of the male dancer as they have to balance themselves on bamboos while spinning around in rhythm with song played. So for your information, it usually performed in the evening by the deceased relative and friends to relieve the family from their sorrow. Usually this dance is performed starting from the first evening of death until the fourth evening.
Oh, okay, okay.
See?
I see. Oh, it was interesting. Dance, alu-alu dance.
Alu-alu
So, alu-alu dance, the dance is performed by male or female or mixed?
It usually mixed.
Mixed.
Yes.
Oh,
male and female.
there has a limit for people to perform it, like 5
No.
or 2? No. Everyone can, right?
Yes. Everyone can involve in the
Alu-alu dance.
Yes, alu-alu dance.
Okay.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Zulaika, as you have said, the alu-alu dance is performed by male and woman.
Yes.
Do you have personally experienced by watching it or even joining the dance?
Actually, I never involved in alu-alu dance because only certain people know
Play this.
to play the alu-alu dance.
I see.
Okay, okay. I see, I see. Okay, thank you for your sharing, Zulaika. So, as you guys heard about our points, there is a different people celebrate their own festival by their own cultures. So, in their cultures, there is also attire for people to wear. Welcome back, everyone. So, let's move on to our new segment, which is traditional attire. Before that, I will share about my own community that wear baju kurung and baju Melayu. As you guys see that, Zulaika and I wear baju kurung as for my traditional Malay clothes. I will tell you guys about a little bit of how baju kurung is made of and how baju kurung come in Malay. Baju kurung is considered popular and worn by both men and women. But the difference lies in the pocket, which is the man has 3 pockets while woman has 1 pocket only. The meaning of kurung has indirectly brought the meaning of locking or covering body parts. This method conforms to the concept of Malay clothing after the arrival of Islam, until the term kurung is interpreted as comfortable and loose, long or long shirt. So called by various names, for example, baju kurung bernyawa, although it has various names, but baju kurung has displayed its own characteristic. So let's move on to how men wear baju Melayu. As you guys know, men has 2 different types of baju Melayu, that's namely by teluk belanga and cekak musang. This is also different how to wear clothes, where the teluk belanga Malay clothes are usually worn outside, but the cekak musang are worn inside. So we also want to know how the Chinese and Malana people attire, and so let's start from Haikal to share with us.
As far as I know, there's 4 traditional clothes or attires in Chinese community, but I will talk about 2 of them, which is the first one, the hanfu. Do you guys ever seen hanfu before?
No, is it same as a cheongsam?
Actually, it's slightly different. Let's start. Hanfu, in fact, is the oldest Chinese traditional cloth. Legends once said hanfu already existed back in 4,000 years ago.
Ooh.
It's quite some times already. So, during that time, hanfu constantly evolved and improved throughout several dynasties. As we know, Chinese has a lot of dynasties. So, such as, for instance, hanfu already evolved and improved during the Han and the Song dynasties, because the hanfu during those dynasties were slightly different. From my point of view, I've seen my Chinese friend seldom wear their hanfu except for big occasions such as festivals or even wedding ceremonies.
So Haikal, I have a question. what is the symbol of the hanfu?
Personally, I've seen my Chinese friend wore hanfu several times, and it really brings them a symbol of authentic Chinese culture, and also it brings them a strong sense of their national identity, which is China.
Okay, okay.
That's why when we see Chinese people wear hanfu, we directly think of China people.
Ah, okay, okay. So basically, you said that hanfu is for men only, but how? Can you explain the attire for women?
As far we know, do you guys heard of cheongsam?
Yes, I do.
So in Chinese, cheongsam is called qipao, but commonly known as cheongsam in our community. Our community is familiar with cheongsam, but not with qipao. Actually, both of them are the same things.
Oh.
Originally, qipao evolved from Manchu women's long gown, which is the long gown they wore. And same as hanfu, qipao has been involved or developed into many styles as our world slowly developed into Western culture. As far as I know, there is three styles of cheongsam or qipao. The first one is Beijing, being the more traditional features on their qipao. The second one we have Shanghai style, which is more commercial styles because it has influence with Western culture. Third one we have Hong Kong style, which is greatly influenced by the European influence because they have a shorter sleeve and also the decoration are much more simpler compared to the traditional style, which is Beijing style.
I was interesting to wear cheongsam hikers. So as you said that cheongsam is have only short sleeve. So how we guys Muslim want to wear it?
Actually, as time goes by, we live in a community which Chinese and Malay mix. So the Chinese has have the idea and has created cheongsam, but with Muslimah style, which is it has a long sleeve, and also the cutting of the cheongsam is much more looser, so it will follow the Islam's rules.
Oh, I need to buy it.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay. Okay, it was fascinating to hear about the attire of Chinese people. So, can we proceed with how Melanau attire?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
So next we move to Melanau attire. The traditional Melanau costume for men is called baban. Okay, baban. This costume bears strong resemblance to the traditional outfit worn by Malay men, which is baju Melayu. And it even incorporates the wearing of a samping around the waist. Accordingly, the traditional costume for the Melanau women folk closely resembles the baju kurung done by Malay ladies. Yes. Besides that, Melanau also have a traditional hat that made from cane weaving. It is called terenda.
Terenda.
Yes, terenda. It is made especially for the fishermen or the farmers to protect themselves from the sunburn. Yes, terenda is really beautiful hat with the colorful stripes which represent the colors of Melanau. Yes.
Okay.
Zulaika,
Yes.
do you have that teramba? What is it called?
Terenda.
Terenda in your house?
No, I don't have, but my grandmother have it. Yes.
Oh, so can teranda can be used by our daily life? Like if we want to go outside, we will use teranda.
Yeah, sure. We can
Oh.
use it when we want to go outside when rainy day. Rainy day.
Oh, okay, okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Is there any store or shops that sells that?
As usually we can get it on Mukah Market. Yes.
Mukah Market, I
Because
see.
Is it pricey?
now I think it the price is little bit
Increase.
increase because now we have to get and buy the turned up because only like I said that just now, certain people only know to make it. Yes.
I see.
So it really requires some skills
Yes,
to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Every good thing has to come to an end. Thank you to our panelists Zuleika and Haikal for joining us today. It was a great experience for having you guys here to share your own unique cultures. So, it also has a good information that we can learn a little bit about the uniqueness of heritage and cultures in Sarawak. In addition, we must foster racial unity in Malaysia by strengthening our friendship regardless of race and religion. We must also set a good example so that the Bumi Kenyalang is known internationally around the world. As a son of Sarawakians, we should be proud and grateful to the leaders, which is Seruntap and Sharif Masaho, that been fought a lot for the Bill of State. Okay, to our panelists, do you guys have any last word?
Yes. I also want to thank Karina as our moderator and Haikal as panel for sharing a really good and useful information.
First of all, thank you to our moderator and our panel for inviting me today in order to share our very own culture. I hope we can experience our own culture together sometimes in the future.
Yeah, hope this culture will continue continuously and living peacefully in